Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I am here today with this super fun YouTube hop. This is a couple of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. We got together and decided to show you some of the beautiful suites that we have in our new catalog, which is the mini catalog September to December 2023. I did a full walkthrough on September 6th of the catalog, and I did a full walkthrough of the suite that I will be using. I did that on September 8th. So if you want to check that out, definitely do that. The suite that I chose to represent was the Beary Christmas. How super cute is this little set? So I got the full suite, so it comes with everything here. I also purchased a pack of Misty Moonlight because I felt that matched perfectly with the collection. So with the suite, you get the 12 by 12 paper. As you can see, I used a lot of it. You get the punch. You get the stamp set. I just used my, my label printer just to label my punch. You get the embossing folder. This is the Snowflake Sky. You get the gems, which they're kind of like, they're not sequins, but they are flat enough that you can mail these and it'll be just fine. They're kind of like little clumps of glitter glue, but flat. I really like them. You also get the glitter velvet ribbon. I'm not gonna lie, I did struggle with this ribbon because it is super thick, and I'm not very I don't want to say good, but I don't typically use a lot of ribbon, so I don't have enough practice with ribbon. But it is gorgeous and I love the feel of it. And then it also came with the envelopes and note card set. And it came with the, I call them cut aparts and ephemera. Some people call them pocket cards, but it came with that. The suite did. So I used pieces of the pocket cards. I used some of the chipboard stickers, and then here are the cards here. We have 4x6 and 3x4s, and the stickers. I just stuck them in a little baggie. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of different projects that I did. This suite is very, very, very versatile for your beginner crafter or for your advanced crafter and anyone in between. It's just an extra piece of paper that I embossed. So my envelopes, I always need something on my envelopes. So these are the regular envelopes. The envelopes that go with the note card set, they already have decorations on them, so you don't have to worry about that. They have little snowflakes and the red ones have trees. Okay, so hand stamped cards. Remember, these are from beginner to advanced and everyone in between. I think this is going to be my Christmas card this year. It is so gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the embossing folder, but it's very simple. You just emboss, stamp, stamp, and cut and punch. That's it. And on the inside of all of my cards, I stamped the bear and the Merry Christmas. This is also great for those of us who don't have a lot of supplies. Now, I have a ton of inks and a ton of supplies at home, but on vacation, all I have is my tuxedo black. So I made the most of what I have. Here's one that has the little gems on there. Wouldn't this be cute? Like, you can do a stack of just like 5 or 6 different colors and hand them out. And then here's our in-between. So we're adding a little bit more each time. We have our 3 gems. We have a little cutout, Merry Christmas. And then here we go for our advanced. We cut out, we layered, added gems. So there you go. Same thing with using the cut aparts and the ephemera. Super simple. I have a lot of people that say, I'm not creative, I can't do it. Yes, you can. This is literally gluing a card down to a base. That is, which one is that? This one? Oh my gosh, I can't. So I just took this, glued it right on top of one of the card bases. I had a card base. Oh, here it is. Here's a card base that came with the kit. Glued it right on top. That's it. It's beautiful. This is the card that you're going to give to like your dentist or your barista or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the ones that they're going to love it, but they're going to throw it away once the season's over. Inside, if you're afraid to stamp, I just use one of the stickers. You can write your message. We zhuzhed it up just a little bit. Same thing. This is just a cut apart, the 4x6 card. All I did was add 3 little gems. That's it. And stamped Merry Christmas on the inside. So this will kind of get you into it. Like, okay, this is easing you into card making. Same thing here. All we did was add a couple of gems, 3 little gems. We stamped and we layered. So just a little bit more. Then we stamped inside. These are just beautiful cards. And then this one, we did everything. We embossed, we added ribbon, we added a cut apart, we added gems, we added stickers, and we popped up a little scene. When I say we, I mean me, myself, and I. And then we stamped on a banner and glued that on the inside. So, you know, you can, if you're afraid to stamp, Stampin' Up does have great kits that you can just go for it. Okay, so let me put that away. Next up, we have my folio that I designed. Here's my madness idea and the prototype. I do have the tutorial for this following. So if you want to make one of these, you definitely can. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the back. I just had to use that Flirty Flamingo because it said it matched. I didn't believe it, but it absolutely matches perfectly. So I put that on the back. Here's the front. This is a scene from the paper collection. I used the sticker and the faux washi tape. That was on the sticker sheet as well. You open it up, another piece of the paper collection, and I just backed it with some old olive. And here you are at the top. Cut apart, waterfall. My magnet is super strong. So I left the back pages blank so you can add your pictures. This is great for 2x3s, 3x4s. You can get 2 2x3s on the back of these. Like so. So a lot of room for your smaller pictures. Sometimes people like to just have the paper with no pictures and then put the pictures on the back, or journal on the back and then put pictures, you know, on the front. So you can, you know, do whatever you want. And then there we go. And then here's the cut apart where you can journal. You can also add a picture, or you can do both. So you can add the picture and then journal here. You can always cut the picture down. And then here's another spot. I just love this little scene. That was so cute. And don't be afraid to use your scraps. So these are just scraps that I felt looked really cute there. So I put it there. And I used scraps in between all of the waterfall. Okay, so let's go to the bottom here. Or let's do the middle. So the middle section is just a show off for the cards, I think. So you're gonna flip it up, and here you have room for a full 4x6 picture. I don't have a full 4x6 picture, but you can, you know, you can do all sorts of fun layouts, like a little disheveled. That's kind of cute like that. You know, obviously you can make it straight or do whatever you want, you know. Same thing here. So here is that. This is this was one of the back of, actually the back of this card is this scene here. And then we have our presents. And then we have our animals. And now let's put my waterfall back down. Now we have this, again, it's magnetized, so you can pull it all the way out. Let me turn it sideways so you can see. And this is room for 4x6s. So you can leave these just blank with the cardstock so people can put their full 4x6 picture. But I wanted this folio to showcase the paper, so I'm probably not going to put pictures in here. This is just going to be a great way for me to showcase the paper. Like if I'm at a craft fair or something like that, we can't sell packs of paper like cash and carry. So this is a great way to showcase every single piece of paper that's in the paper collection and the pull aparts. But if you make this at home, you know, you can absolutely add pictures around. Let's see, if you have a 2x3, it'll fit perfectly here with your scene. You have your two, you have, you know, here, and you can still put a little title. Like if you're an old school scrapbooker, you know, you could put a title there. And same thing with this one, you can cut a picture down and kind of add it. Like I could cut Corey out completely and just have his little face right here. You know what I mean? So you can leave the paper, or like that's going to cover. That's the hardest part. Am I going to cover my little bears? I'm going to cover these bears here, you know? So there it is. All right, the tutorial is up next. Okay, here is the tutorial. So I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight. So you're going to need, I think it's 4 pages. I'm just going to take out 4 pages, or 4 pieces, I should say. You can always use your scraps if you have a lot of scraps in this color. If you want to. Just felt really thick. Okay, so first you need 2 pieces that are 6.5 by 10.5. If you have the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, you can cut 2 pieces at a time. I'm just going to do 1 at a time for this, just because the 6.5 measurement is a little weird in this arm. So 6.5 by 10.5. And you're going to score it at, on the long side, you're going to score it at 4.5 and 5. 4.5 and 5. You're going to do the same to the second piece. So 6.5 by 10.5. Scored on the long side at 4.5 and 5. Okay, so just put those 2 to a side right now. Take your next piece of cardstock, and we need, I think we're gonna need more cardstock, but that's okay. We need 6 pieces that are 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. So if you cut it, how I'm gonna cut it, it's gonna save paper. So on the short side, I'm trying to think how I did this. 4, 8. I think I had to do it. Let me think. Okay, I forgot I had changed my measurements. And so if you cut your paper the way I'm about to cut it, you will get 2 of the 4 3/4 and 6 1/4. And then you'll also get 1 of the 4 3/4 by 4 1/4. That's the smoke alarm. Yeah, there you go. That's the one saying somebody's cooking dinner and they set their alarm off. That's not the evacuate one. So yeah, it's dinner time. Okay, so put your paper in the long side at the top. You're gonna cut it at 6 1/4. And then you're gonna cut this at 4 3/4. this piece and then come back around and cut this one. Okay, sorry, the alarms kept going off. So you're gonna turn this and cut it at 6 1/4. And then your other little piece that you saved, this is going to be your 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One more sheet of paper. We're going to do the same thing. Okay. So long side, cut it at 6 1/4. Then turn it 4 3/4. Save that piece. Take this long piece. 6 1/4. So cut down your little piece to 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. So now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 4 3/4 by 6 1/4, and you have 3 of the 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So it saves a little bit of paper. I mean, obviously you're going to have scrap, but there's just no avoiding it. Go ahead and cut your other 2 pieces, which are going to be the 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. I'm just using scraps for this one. And I don't think that's big enough. Oh, I guess it is. Okay. So it should all be 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. That worked out perfectly. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So on the smaller ones, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch on the long side. So you guys can just do that. Okay, so all of my smaller cards are scored, and then on your larger card, you're gonna score on the short side at a 1/2 inch on all of them. So all 6 are gonna get the 1/2 inch score on the short side. So go ahead and do that. Okay, last one. There we go. And that's all the cutting and scoring that we're going to need for the cardstock. Obviously, we're going to need to cut and score our pattern paper, but this is it for the cardstock. Okay, so we need to go back to our very first 2 pieces, the 6 1/2 by 10 1/2. We're going to go ahead and varnish those on those 2 score lines. Okay. See? Okay. So now we're going to connect our 2 pieces via the long side. So you should line your paper up to where the short flap one is on the left and one is on the right. And you're just going to glue or tape this together. So you're going to use a strong adhesive. I'm going to use glue. Just making sure we get all the perimeter, get those corners. Okay. Now you're going to glue right up to that score line, but do not overlap it. You're going to make sure you're straight. And just make sure you can fold both sides, which is perfect. Okay. Now this book, we can use magnets, we can use the ribbon for closures. I'm probably going to use magnets just because that's my favorite. But you can use what you want. Okay, now you can mat this bottom piece first, but I'm gonna put my waterfalls down first, just so we can hide the hinge, right? All right, so some people like to do both. They like to mat first and then put the waterfall on top and then continue matting. It's up to you. So we're just gonna glue this down, or tape. I think today I'm gonna glue. So this is the top of my folio, like so. Working on the top, but I have to turn mine like this to get it straight. So I'm gonna go in the middle here as best as I can, and I'm gonna leave about 1/8 of an inch border from the top. And leave it like that. Okay. And actually, I think I'm going to tape these because glue I have to wait. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and add double-sided tape to all of my score lines, my hinge lines, like so. I'll just continue taping those. And also tape 3 of your large ones as well. So all of the small waterfall and 3 of the large. The accordion, I typically use glue for accordions, so that way I can make it super straight. Okay. There we go. All right, so now you're just going to continue lining up your waterfall, just like you would do a normal waterfall. Varnish that. You're just going to bring this right up to the next one. Make sure it's straight. Make sure they're lined up. Press it down. Varnish. Remove the backing. Make sure there's no overhang. I did that crooked. Whatever. And then you're gonna just keep going down. Somehow mine got crooked already. Well, I guess it's not. I guess it's just me that's crooked. Okay. And you're just gonna continue until your small waterfall is done. Okay. So all of mine are down, and if you varnished each one individually, you can go back through and varnish it again. It will lay flat in your book, but you can always make a closure. You'll see in the beginning of the movie if I decided to do a ribbon closure or a magnetic closure. So if you want to do a ribbon closure, then what you're going to do is just kind of glue your ribbon, or tape, well, this one you're going to have to tape your ribbon down kind of in the center, And then you'll tie it up this way, like so. So because this is super thick and it's velvet, I don't want that bulky knot in mind, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do my closure yet, but I will share that with you guys, obviously, when I'm done matting. Okay. Okay, so we're going to work on our middle section, which is our larger waterfall. So it's going to have 3 pieces, and we are going to come down about a little more than 1/8 of an inch from the top. Just because I wanted to have a border. You don't have to have a border if you don't want to on the top, but I wanted a border on the top. Okay, same thing. We're just going to varnish, take off the backing, make sure there's no overhang, and then I was trying to find an easier way to do this, but there's really not. Center it as best as we can. Okay. Do our next one. So at this point, your book can be vertical or horizontal because we haven't laid any of our paper down. Mine's going to be horizontal. I can't see, I have shadows going on here. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. Again, if you varnish nicely, your waterfall will lay flat and you don't have to have a closure. Okay. There you go. And then our bottom is going to be our accordion. So we're going to take our last pieces, which these are the 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and varnish all 3 of mine. Okay. Now I'm going to take this first one and I'm going to leave the hinge to the left. So I'm going to take the second one and I'm going to glue that hinge right onto that edge. So the inside, the fold. I'm going to put this in there and fold this over. Okay. So far we have it looking like this, and so I want this piece, actually it's going to go up. We're just going to do the same thing. You're just going to fold or glue it onto the other edge, and then we'll fold the paper how we want our accordion to look when we're done. Making sure it's lined up. Glue it down. Okay. So I want mine to open to the bottom like that. If you want yours to open from the top, then just put your seam on the bottom and then it will open this way. Kind of like that way too. Maybe I'll do that. Let me try it out again. I guess it really doesn't matter. All right, so I'm just gonna glue this, or you could tape this one if you want it. The glue is already out. And we're just going to, again, place it in the center. I have a little bit of border on mine, if you want. Okay. All right. And that is it, guys. So at this point, you can determine if you want your book to be a horizontal book where your cards are going to go this way. Like so. Or if you want this to be a vertical book and your waterfall will go this way and your cards will open up this way. It's really up to you which way you want to do it. Just whichever way you choose to do on the inside. Remember that on the outside when you're gluing your paper down. One step that I forgot to do is reinforce your score lines. So what I'm going to do on the outside, I'm going to put a piece of just clear packing tape just to kind of reinforce these hinges. So just your regular old clear packing tape. You don't have to do this step. I just feel like I'm going to use this a lot. And so I just want to make it just slightly stronger. And you could have done that in the inside before you laid everything down. But I'm just going to do it on the outside. You can still glue and tape over the top of it. If you have Tyvek, you can put that down too. Whatever you want, just to kind of make it just a little bit stronger, because I feel like you're going to use these over and over and over again, and we don't want weak spines. Okay, so this is what I decided for my magnets. My closure is going to be magnets. I put them on top only because I don't have any more small magnets. If I had the smaller size ones, I would have put them here and here, but I don't have any small ones, so I had to put the large ones on the outside of my file, which is fine. These are super strong magnets. They will hold 11 pieces of cardstock together, so I didn't have a problem with, you know, putting it here with my waterfall. I was gonna make an arm, like something kind of like, obviously bigger, but you glue it down and then have it come across here and then put the magnet here. But I didn't want it to compromise the card that I'm using on top, and so I didn't want anything to go over the top. I didn't want to cover any part of it. And so again, these are super strong magnets. These are the basic gray large. I don't know where the packaging is. So I put my magnet on the top, which my card is going to cover it. And then when you start lifting, it's on the back here. And I did test it out with my pictures and the other cards. I just stuck a bunch of stuff in there to make sure that that magnet was going to hold. That's like 2 pictures, 2 more, here's like 4 pictures. I just added a bunch of stuff just to make sure, and it does, it still holds it down. So get a strong magnet. If not, you're gonna have to do a different type of closure, or change your front card if you wanted to do that, because I could have changed it to this and then had one of the ephemera pieces, or one of the stickers I should say, to hide the magnets, but I wanted the other piece on front, so there you go. The other magnet I put on was on my accordion fold. I put the magnet on the top here, in the bottom here, just so it stays flat. I'm not going to put anything on the middle waterfall. I don't feel like I need anything there. So that's where I put my magnets. And then I did go ahead and put the packing tape on both sides. I was going to get the, I'm going to say Teflon. It's not Teflon. Oh my gosh. The envelope. Yeah, I guess it is. Is it Teflon? Whatever. I was going to get that, but I couldn't find it. So I just used the packing tape, which was fine. And then now I just got to mat it. And the other thing I'm doing to mat, because I put my waterfall down first before I put down my pattern paper, I'm just color blocking. So I just took some strips of the scraps and I'm just making my own patterns here. I guess not really patterns, but there we go. So it looks like you matted that entire page, but I really didn't. This is just a 1/2 inch strip. This is a 1/2 inch strip. And I'm going to come under here and I'm going to mat the rest of this. That way you're saving your paper. You're using up the scraps. You know, that's kind of what I like to do when I'm matting. I don't want to necessarily use an entire this would be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 sheet of paper, and then most of it's covered by my waterfall anyway, and you only see this little piece. So if you do your strips, then it looks like you matted your entire page and you didn't waste paper. So that's just kind of how I mat. I watched a lot of different people matting. Kimmy Murray, who is Salty Beach Scrappers, she's the first one I saw doing color blocking like that when I first started out. Obviously, Kathy King does it. A lot of people do it. Tamika, Scrap the World. A lot of people do the color blocking, but they probably do it different than I do. Everyone kind of mats how they want. Matting is not my strong point, so I get the paper on where I can. But anyway, guys, that is the tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.